Hey, what's up everybody? So today I figured it's a nice day in the great state of Washington in Seattle. Figured let's go ahead and take a look and explore Lake Sammamish State Park. A couple of things to note is that Lake Sammamish State Park it's about, give or take, 25-30 minute drive from downtown Seattle, assuming there's no traffic, right? And a couple of things you guys need to be aware of is that when you guys do come to Lake Sammamish State Park, you're gonna need what's called a Discovery Pass, which can generally be purchased for $30 for an annual pass. But if you feel like you don't want to pay $30 for a yearly pass and just here visiting for one day, they do have places where you can buy basically a day pass for about $5. You just have to kind of look out for the payment parking machines that are located in various parts of the parking lot. But without further ado, let's go and take a look and see what Lake Sammamish State Park has to offer. So a couple of things to notice is that when you first come to the Lake Sammamish State Park, they have a beach along the west coast, so along the west side of the parking lot. And the one thing you'll find is that most people come here to basically paddleboard or kayak, right? Now, if you don't have your own kayak, if you don't have your own paddleboard, they have an area where you can rent paddleboards and kayaks. And I looking at the website on IssaquahPaddlesports.com, rentals cost about $18 an hour for a single kayak or a single paddleboard. But if you're looking for a dual paddleboard or a tandem paddleboard or kayak, it costs about $23. Now, if you don't feel like kayaking, you don't feel like paddleboarding, they have an area where you could basically swim. They have kind of designated water buoys around the lake where you can just basically swim freely without risking anyone hitting you or bonking you on the head with their paddles, right? So as you notice, one of the other nice things about this park actually is just the vast amounts of barbecue pits lying around the park. Now, if you walk around, let's say if you're in the west side park, if you're at the west side of the park, or if you're next to the big playground, every table has their own barbecue pit. So you never have to really worry about coming really early. Let's say if you go to another park and there's only like 1 or 2 barbecue grills, a lot of times you have to come early. You have to make sure you get your spot. At Lake Sammamish State Park, you don't have to do any of that. You don't have to worry about that. Like, it doesn't matter what time you come. Usually there's always an open barbecue grill for pretty much anyone to use. No reservations are really needed. And again, there's just so many places. And a couple of things to mention is that there are 2 volleyball courts, one on the west side and one a little bit about northwest of where we initially parked. There are some sand pits, but they're not really designated, so I would recommend highly bringing your own lines. But here there's the softball fields. Let's go and take a look at the 2 softball fields located at Lake Sammamish Park. So actually, before we get to the softball field, I kind of want to mention that actually when you're walking towards the softball field and you actually make a right, you end up along this really, really beautiful walkway that I actually have never really, had a chance to come by because, like, why bother, right? But it reminds me of that one scene from Gladiator where the character's named Russell Crowe just walking through the fields with his hand just brushing against the grains or the wheat farm, whatever you want to call it. There's a lot of that here, like, holy crap. And it's really nice because you feel kind of isolated. I mean, it's aside from the fact that you're right next to the freeway, this is actually a really, really good walking path, actually. So if you're just kind of feeling stressed, like you just want to just get away from everything and just go for a little walk, this is actually a really, really nice place. So all right, enough of that. Let's go check out the softball field. So this park actually has 2 softball fields, and they're separated far enough that if you have 2 continuous games going on, you're not really going to interrupt each other's games. So that's actually a nice thing. Now, unfortunately, I don't know if it's because of the whole COVID-19 incident. It seems like not a lot of people have been here as far as playing softball because the grass is not maintained very well. Like, if you actually look at the grass, just as far as how high, I guess you could say, the grass length is, it's about 3 inches up to 5 inches long. There seems to be some potholes here and there. It just doesn't look like people come here to really play. I mean, if you're looking for a softball place or if you're looking for a place to play softball, I mean, I guess come here and just get 8 to 12 people and just hang out. But they have a little area where you could kind of sit, have a little dugout. Not really dugout, but just an area where everyone can just sit, and just a typical softball field. But it's hard to really say because there's no real designated diamond. You can't really see it anymore. There's no real paint. But I mean, if you're just looking for a place to come play, I mean, this place is not bad, right? Especially for an area in like the Lake Issaquah area, Bellevue area. So yeah, just come take a look. So one of the other nice features about this park is that it's actually got 3 different jungle gyms for the kids to play. The first one we're going to take a look at is basically the main one. And one of the nice things about this specific jungle gym is that it's got a zip line that looks to be separated about, give or take, about 50 feet actually. Now, Unfortunately, I can't tell if it's set up or not, or if you have to make a reservation or how it works, because I can definitely see the two lines, but I don't really see the area where you hold on to it and kind of, you know, zip from one area to another. Other than that, it's a typical nice park. It's got your typical swing set. You got this crazy little cable diamond shaped thing, a little area where you can just kind of spin around. Just your typical jungle gym. And this is, I mean, this was actually built or remodeled actually back in 2016, and they spent about, give or take, $1.1 million to actually get this thing done. So let's go and take a look at the other two playgrounds. So as you can see, the second playground is actually not as big as their primary playground. And in fact, actually the second playground actually looks to be more for like little kids. Everything seems to be a lot shorter, but the one thing they do have is the tire. Remember those? Those are always fun to ride. But anyways, let's go and take a look at the last playground. This one actually, just from driving by, it doesn't look as big, but you know what? Let's be meticulous. Let's be a completionist and just make sure we get everything done, all right? Let's take a look at the third playground. So as you can see, the last playground, which is located right next to the beach, it's actually really, really small, but I figured if you're just kind of hanging out in the area, you have kids and they're kind of tired of just playing in the beach, in the waters, you could have a little go at the playground. All right, last but not least, guys, let's go ahead and take a look at the soccer fields. And I just want to mention that when you do come to Lake Sammamish State Park to actually try and play soccer, unfortunately, you're not able to actually play in their specific soccer fields because you have to either make a reservation, or two, you have to basically belong in a league. And it's still a really nice field, but let's just go ahead and be completionists and let's just go and take a look and see what the soccer fields look like, yeah? All right, guys, so that's pretty much it for Lake Sammamish State Park. So again, if you're living on the east side, or if you just kind of feel like going away from Seattle and looking for a place to go paddleboarding, going kayaking, Lake Sammamish State Park is actually a really nice place to come to. Again, they have a nice playground they have 3 different playgrounds for all the kids from various sizes, various ages to come and enjoy. If you're looking for a place to just have a nice little barbecue, have a nice little picnic with just friends and families, and don't really feel like worrying about having to make a reservation for a barbecue pit, you have to actually definitely come to Lake Sammamish State Park, because again, you don't have to worry about making reservations. You don't have to worry about coming really early to make sure you hold and secure a barbecue spot. Next thing is, they have 2 volleyball courts located primarily on the west side of the park. They have a softball field, 2 diamonds, well, 2 softball field areas. Unfortunately, the softball fields aren't as in pristine condition as they could be or should be, but it's a place to come and just still play. They have soccer fields for pretty much people for, let's say, if you want to make a reservation, if you have a big group of people and you guys just really, really love playing soccer, you guys actually have to definitely try and come and hold a spot in their soccer field, because just based off looking at the pictures and looking at the just people playing around, the fields are actually professionally kept. So they have nice little full-size soccer goals, and so yeah. Anyways, that's it for today as far as my video. If you guys enjoyed this video, actually, make sure you hit that like, subscribe button, and let me know what you guys think. I'm still trying to learn and get better at practicing and making, I guess, videos that kind of, you know, showcase what different features are from different parks, different hikes, restaurants, so on and so forth. So, all right, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.